Hi. Happy solstice. Winter solstice where I am, and summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. So welcome. My name is Cynthia. If you're new here, I do tarot readings, and my primary method of cartomancy is tarot, but I do a lot of other different types. I'm also a clinical social worker and a hedge witch. I just have my own hedge witch practice as a solo practitioner. And so I don't know why I'm introducing myself like this. I've never really done that before, but I'm feeling drawn to do that today. This also, one of the things I did to honor the solstice is I spruced up my card table here and put out a print that I made back in art school. This is a self-portrait. And I like to do printmaking on found objects at times, especially women's textile work that winds up like in thrift stores or antique stores, either because it's sort of stained or whatever. I really like to reclaim those things and add my contribution to them like this. This is an old cotton, like small table bedspread or something, but I love that it has these morning glories and other, like maybe some mums. The green in it got really bleached out by the sun, so you can't really see the green here, but then I did a self-portrait of me doing a water scrying in my neurosis tea. This is from a long time ago, but it's funny because when I made these, who knew that I was going to end up here now using it as a spread for my card table? That wasn't the intent, but now I'm glad I have these. I have several of them. Sometimes they're a little distracting though, so I don't use them as often because I feel like they're a little distracting image-wise from the cards themselves. So today I think we'll just do a general collective. What are the solstice messages that want to come out for us here for this group of us? What are the solstice messages that would like to come out? Thank you for being here. I also do scrying work on this channel. I have a podcast on here called the Obsidian Mirror Podcast, where I do different types of scrying work into ink, an obsidian mirror, this amethyst crystal portal behind me, and other types. I also do water and fire scrying, but I haven't done that for the podcast yet. I might at some point. What should we know for this solstice? What should we know, Spirit, for this solstice season in a time when the world feels in a lot of upheaval and, you know, feels like a big turning point in many ways, in many regards. Uh-oh, I think I forgot my glasses. Just going to do a Tetractys layout. Oh, wow, that's so perfect. I don't know if you can see this, but where the energy headed is the sun, which, hello, it's the winter solstice. So after today, the light is returning. I love that that's the outcome card. I just have to zero right in on it because it's so beautiful. And I love Frank Duffy's image of the sun. It just looks it really captures the energy of the card as the happiest, most uplifting, stress-free, blissed out card in the deck is the Sun card, and it's really, really awesome to see here. It's the only major arcana, and I was starting to think, wow, this is interesting. This is going to be a totally mundane layout for a day like the solstice, but then boom, here's the sun, the returning light, so it's really cool. And so let's see here. I forgot my glasses. I'll just keep going for now. No, I need them because I don't know these cards well enough to know which card is which yet without reading Where are my glasses? I just had them. Let me pause this while I find them. Sorry. Okay, thanks. So, what's interesting is we have all 4 elements represented here in the foundational column. We've got fire, air, earth, and water. So that's really nice to see. And in some ways makes me think maybe this is not as mundane as, not that these lower arcana cards are not important. They are. But they're energy that is not so powerful that you can't manipulate it if you want. You can change the direction of things when you have a lot of these cards. Whereas if there's like a lot of major arcana, then a lot of it's out of your hands. That's just a quick take on that dynamic in card reading. So I'm really intrigued that there's all 4 elements in the foundation, which speaks to me about harmony within. The difficult one is the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups isn't even necessarily a negative card. It gets a bad rep because it can often mean like illusion and gluttony and, living sort of this id type life, the term id, right? Like the uninhibited ego that just operates fully on impulse without any kind of higher reasoning kind of energy. The 7 of Cups, though, is a nice energy to be in because it speaks to options. We have a lot of options and choice before us. And the fact that it's balanced by these other harmonious elements, to me, says that this is in a good aspect of just having a lot of choices. There's always a little bit of a warning, but it's a nice empowered position to be in, to have all these options in the realm of the heart. We've been doing a lot of really good work, just focusing on your work, getting your work done in a low-key way. You're not out there showing off. You've just got your humble work stance going here. And you're kind of watching and waiting. There's some good news. You have reason to believe that there are good things happening with this Page of Wands in the Cornerstone card. I have a playlist right now that's public on my Spotify, and I just added a song to it at the end. It felt very complete to me as a playlist for weeks now, I think. But I just felt inspired to add a song this morning, and it's the same kind of energy of this, the return of the light, the return of levity, the return of optimism. I know it seems in juxtaposition to some world events, but it's real, and we're not going to try to pretend like we don't have a right to feel it. We do. And the song I added was I Feel It Coming by The Weeknd, and it's so wonderful. I love that song. It uplifts me. The moment Starboy came out, that was my favorite song on the album. Like, I just really love it. And I added it to the playlist because it was such an hopeful energy that came through that song, through this hospice solstice day, right? It was really nice. So it's that kind of energy. Something's in the wind. You can feel it. There's some reason that you have to be like cautiously hopeful or sneakily hopeful, right? Something like that is going on. But you're in a watching and waiting. I'm pretty sure this is the Page of Swords. Yeah, you're in a watching and waiting to see. You're not making any big moves. You're continuing to do your work, but you have a feeling that something is going on. Something is brewing, and it's making you feel good. Like you've got a secret, like kind of something's gonna go down that feels good. Like it's like an intuitive hunch is what I'm picking up. You feel vulnerable in the realm of love and in the realm of close, trusted relationships. The vulnerability position is the 2 of Cups. And so that's a place where you feel vulnerable. And the facts position, though, is that you have a lot of options, but that is both a strength and a vulnerability. You need to use discernment around the options if what you're looking for is love. We're going to keep going here. This doesn't always have to be romantic love, but for me as a reader, this card really only comes out when it is involving romantic love because of me and my relationship to tarot, not for any other reason than that. Because when I started reading, I wanted this card to represent only romantic love. I found it too confusing it could mean a lot of close, I was like, no, I need a card that represents romantic love. And so I assigned that to the Two of Cups for me as a reader. So let's just go with that. I'm feeling guided to just kind of be like, don't worry about trying to qualify everything with friends or associates or whatever. This is referencing love, and you feel vulnerable in the realm of love right now. But the truth is that you have a lot of options. You may not like that, though. There's sometimes, you know how if you go into some huge mega mart, like a Walmart supercenter, it's too much. Or, you know, it's like too much choice, too much options, too much product, too much manufactured crap, too much, you know. So that's kind of some energy too. It's like you're trying to sort through all of that stuff that's just basically junk to find the real, right? To find the good, the one that you want to fill your cup with, right? You're in a little bit of a conflict right now. This is the Five of Swords, and I love how Frank designed the Five of Swords. The conflict, he's swallowing the swords to a degree. So it's a warning. He's also strong. Like the lion figure is a strong figure, but he's swallowing all of his sword. You know what I mean? There's just a tense energy with the Five of Swords, conflict. It can be conflict directed at you. That's kind of what I feel like is happening here, is that you have conflict coming at you, maybe from people that are not liking what's going on for you, or family. You know, it is a holiday time of year, and you might be in a family that has a lot of conflict woven into it. It's bothering you. It's getting to you, is the feeling of Frank's Five of Swords card, is that it's feeling very wounding to you, these kinds of attacks. And that might also be why you're feeling so vulnerable in the realm of the heart, because you feel like you're being attacked from all sides for some reason. Your strength position is the Two of Pentacles. And it's, again, don't forget that you have a choice here. You have choice. You have the power of choice. You're not being victimized by the circumstance, but you feel very vulnerable. That's why this Five is coming out like this, is because you feel vulnerable. Even though you have choice, you feel a little too vulnerable to the conflicts that are brewing around you. What's interesting that I just noticed is we have 222, so we have 3 2s. 222 is also, for me personally, a number that represents romantic love. It's an angel number that has that connotation for me. It may have a different connotation for you. That's the one it has for me. So now 2 is like a big theme. 2. We also have 2 pages here. 2, right? This might be a coming together or a reunion romantically, but for some reason there's conflict being directed at it. It may be that there, you know, this could be something that's a little star-crossed. That's kind of coming through. And the most famous version of that is Tristan and Isolde, or like Romeo and Juliet. There might be other stories like that, but the term star-crossed lovers is from Romeo and Juliet, and it means ill-fated, right? Like they had a sorrowful fate, but it was a deep love kind of thing. That's coming through here. Like, you might be a little bit worried about the love that's in your life, or afraid of the conflict coming at you, because in Romeo and Juliet, the Montagues and the Capulets didn't want Romeo and Juliet to be together, and they were I was going to say frenemies. They were like family, just that feuded and were in an enemy relationship for going way, way back before Romeo and Juliet came along. And they were 2 very young people. I think in the play, Juliet's 13 or 14, and Romeo's only 15 or 14, right? They're young. They're pages. They fall hard, heavy in love. And the people this is coming through really strong. Romeo and Juliet is really coming through strongly right now. But what's important to know is that the outcome, or where things are headed, is the sun. So it's not a tragic ending like in Romeo and Juliet. It's a happy ending. So there's a happy ending coming for us. It's catching this reading. There was a vulnerability in the past about being worried about or being focused too much on the material, on your wealth, on your financial security, your physical security, right? There was some, or there is still some voice in you that's wanting you to be overly focused on your money. But also the angel wants you to focus on the, my speech is a little weird today. Like, it's almost like not how I speak. So that might have some meaning. Two of Wands here is the sort of known, focused, like more accepting or understanding part of you that's like, there's a great opportunity coming, and I don't need to obsess about my finances or my material security. This is on its way. I don't need to worry, right? So this is what's helping you assuage these material concerns. And it's really lovely where it's headed. There is really no reason to worry about love or about material, because it's here in the Sun card. This is really a positive omen, very positive, and it's really coming through romantically. The very heart of it, though, is that there's conflict. So I'm going to pull, even though, and this is, I'm kind of guessing present moment conflict, that either the partnership or the relationship is being threatened or attacked, or you feel personally worried about the relationship, and this is here to, and in conflict about it, and this is here to tell you don't need to worry. The worry is a little bit of an illusion. But let's see, I want to kind of clarify, what's the Five of Swords at the very center? What does that mean? Is that conflict coming at us about this partnership? I spoke too soon completely about saying, oh, it looks kind of mundane, because it's not mundane at all. It's completely patterned in here in a divine design. 2 pages, doing hard work, a choice to make, love, 222, sun, you know, right? There's a lot of, plus these 1-1, right? Like there's something sacred geometry unfolding here with the Sun card on the solstice energy. What do we need to understand about the Five of Swords? What do we need to understand about this Five of Swords? Find and be with your loyal and devoted community of support. So that indicates to me that there are people that don't support whatever is happening here. And so you're being advised, in order to deal with this energy, is to only share this with people that you really trust. Don't share this with everyone. This is something that needs to be kept low key right now. You need to share it with people that you love and trust, especially with this Swords energy here. You have to turn this over to fate, but the fate is guiding this in a really positive direction. So don't worry about this conflict. Let it go. Give it over to God or whatever, your higher power, right? Like practice the serenity prayer is coming through. This is not something, again, it's just saying over, like the energy flooding through is like, don't worry about it. Just turn it over to something greater than you, and find and be with the people who do support you right now. Don't worry about those that are not okay with this or whatever, right? Yeah, breathe deeply and replenish yourself, rest. So don't sweat it. Don't worry about these little conflicts. Yeah, how does your inner warrior perceive surrender? You don't have to do anything. This is coming regardless. This is not a conflict that's going to win out here, or that this isn't in danger. This beautiful emerging trusting relationship, it could even be like a twin flame relationship, honestly, and like a possible union, or at least a coming together where there may be some communication. Let me find out some more about it. What else should we know about this? Surrender, let go, don't worry about it, because this is all happening regardless of whatever Swords energy might be coming at it or causing a conflict for this coming together. When do you feel most confident? So that's going to help manage this energy that's coming, that's making you feel like maybe this is being threatened or it's vulnerable. And it's just saying, stay in your confidence. Stay in that Leo type energy of like roar, a lion's roar. The lion is the king of the jungle, right? That kind of stuff. Like empower in your solar plexus. Like you can do something to help empower your solar plexus right now on the solstice with the returning of the light. And that's going to help you let go of any of this worry maybe about these swords coming. What else? You have reason to feel positive. It's very true. Tell me about a time when you felt awkward. So this is totally right about vulnerability. There's a little bit of vulnerability feeling here. And now I'm kind of, yeah, you, excuse me. It's the awkwardness versus confidence. I love how it's coming through, and that's, again, reflected in these pages. They feel a little vulnerable, right? They're maybe coming together in a place of vulnerability, which is actually very authentic and sincere and beautiful and trusting. Wow, that's really lovely and encouraging. What else about this relationship should we know? What else is the energy of this relationship coming through? It's really inspiring energy. You could be a fire sign and an air sign because it's the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, but it certainly doesn't have to be. That can just be the elemental energy that you are in currently, right? What else should we know? The Frog and Lotus, the Spider and Passion Flower. I love it. I love those two cards. I think they're really beautiful, but I still need her book to read to understand these cards 100%. I mean, a frog is a transformative creature of the water. So I don't need a ton of, because a frog is a shapeshifter. It shifts from a tadpole into a frog. It's a symbol of witching, a frog is. When I started down my hedge witch path, I remember making a determination. I was doing some reading and kind of setting my intentions with who my earliest teacher was a book called The Spiral Dance by Starhawk. And I remember as I was sitting in my home at the time and making my commitment to the mysteries and to becoming a hedge witch, I heard a frog croaking outside my window, which was not typical for where I lived. And I remember thinking, oh, what a cool sign. So, and the lotus is also a water flower that is born out of the mud like a frog. So these are shape-shifting, healing creatures. Let's see what this says, what she says about it. It's card number 11. So now we have an 1111. Again, that's interesting to note. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's not card 11. I spoke too soon. It's card 6. Why am I having trouble turning to this page? Okay, here we go. You can't control everything in your life. Change is a part of nature, and it must be allowed to take its course. Remember that great beauty can result from metamorphosis. Yeah, and that's what this was saying about surrendering whatever little conflicts are facing this relationship to something greater. And it's just that. These are little conflicts, especially compared to everything else going on. They're very minor. But I know I've been on my own journey. It gets easy to get sucked into like just hyper focusing on this and neglecting all the rest. And I'm kind of feeling cautioned about that too. Like, don't get tripped up on this. Focus on this, right? And then the Spider and Passion Flower. Well, this is a 2. So we do have 1111 here. Funny, I love tarot and cards. Spider and Passion Flower. Passion Flower is a nervine. It's native to the Americas. It's named after the Passion of the Christ, I think, at least by the European colonizers. I don't know its indigenous name. It is an extremely cosmic. I am super drawn to Passion Flower and spiders, both. I have long relationships with these cards. So let's see what card 2 says, because passion flower is unnerving, meaning that it is very soothing to the system. I was going to grow some this year, but the nursery that I bought it from ended up having a crop failure, and I didn't get to grow any here. But I'm moving, so wherever I end up, I'll try to grow it there, you know. The spider and passion flower, and this came in the upright. Spiders represent a balance of light and dark, cunning yet patient. They spin intricate webs that are both beautiful and deadly. The passion flower is a vining flower that has come to symbolize faith. It was named by 16th century Jesuit missionaries who associated the plant with the Passion of Christ. Okay, so I was right. Its filaments represent the crown of thorns, its 10 petals, the 10 faithful apostles, and so on. You can solve your problems unconventionally and with cleverness. You need only exercise patience in order to fully appreciate the results of your labor. So this is all coming. I love it. They're the perfect messaging around these cards. Just beautiful. Just know that this is young love kind of energy where you might feel a little bit awkward, but also if it's the healthy kind of love, it's the kind of love that boosts you both and makes you both feel uplifted and confident. I think I'll pull maybe some, let's get a little bit more specifics about the sun. What can we know about the sun energy that's coming? Any detail? Will tarot give us any detail about the sun energy? I mean, just the sunlight returning on its own is a gift. It's not something that I feel like that's not enough, but I would love to know a little bit of detail if it would care to share. What else about the sun card? Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, so there might be some incoming communication or exchanges, energy, fire energy, right? This is the cornerstone. Fire is in play here for the solstice. Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and Strength, and a balancing. So with the sun returning is coming these new opportunities. This threshold that you already know is on its way. This Two of Wands is going to be coming the Three of Wands for you. You're the Queen of Pentacles here. You're attracting it all. And that's where the surrender is. You don't need to do anything else other than surrender. Get excited. Think about how, you know, the kind of awkward butterflies that you feel when this kind of new love is coming into your life. And be strong. Be strong. And make sure that there's an equal balance of give and take. If you start sensing like, uh-oh, I already am feeling like I'm giving more than I'm getting, that's your cue to slow down and reevaluate and to redistribute your energy a little bit. But what I'm seeing is that this sunlight energy coming in is more of a balanced, harmonized life for you, Queen of Pentacles, that you have attracted because you've been focused on your own work, trying to remain optimistic, recognizing and doing your own shadow work around your confidence and around your vulnerabilities in the heart and in love. So what else? I kind of feel like I want to get, there's not a lot here to, I'm going to do some scrying. Why not? Because I kind of feel like now it's just going to be saying over and over those themes. We got right to the heart of it pretty quickly. So now I think I'll just scry and see if I see any intuitive images along with this for us before I close the reading. So the first thing I'm seeing are snails, like cetacean. I think those are like land cetaceans, maybe. And they're not known for their speed, right? So it's not saying that this is going to be a slow process, because there's way too much fire here for that. My sense is that this is not going to be, you're going to be waiting long for this. But there is something about maybe slowing down to appreciate the journey. It's a definite coming together. Oh, wow. Now I'm seeing turtles. Like sea turtles. And seeds bursting open. Sprouting seeds. Yeah, fertility. This is very fertile and abundant. And why, like, even though this is young, these 2 pages here, I'm seeing these 2 sea turtles kind of coming together, like ancient souls. So you're in young optimism, but there's something deeper happening between you also that's deeper and more ancient or something. I'm also seeing a discussion. So something about this coming together is going to result in a discussion. People, when they get together, they discuss things, but it's sort of emphasizing like the importance of the discussion to this. There's a little bit of a energy of risk of taking it all too seriously. So don't forget the levity here. It's okay to be young optimism page like energy. Because there's a little bit of maybe some sorrows from the past here, or a little bit of the sting of the illusion present. So there might be some conversations that need to happen that are going to feel a little intense, but just remember they don't have to be. They can, it's one side of a coin. There's importance and intense things that need to be discussed, but there's also, it's important to remember it's okay to lighten up and have fun too, and not take it all so seriously. Whales, I'm seeing whales in the ocean, like doing when they breach and celebration. There's a lot of celebratory returning of the light. There's a little bit of bogged down, like there's been some conflict and some illusion. So that's where the conversation is coming. There's going to be discussion over how to clear out any maybe misunderstandings, and making way because of doing that for the celebration that comes just immediately after, with fertility, with land creatures, water creatures, air creatures, through this sword's element, through the voice, and through this sword that's kind of spear shooting through the center. There's a realm of ideas around all of this, where you're going to be coming together and talking about ideas, maybe, and beliefs. Yeah, it's like a cosmic unfolding is what it's saying. Like the Big Bang. Yeah, it's like universe expanding. Really amazing with this Sun card. It's super beautiful. So, like I said a few minutes ago, like when I sat down, when I looked at the layout at first, I was like, oh, okay, fairly mundane besides the Sun card. And then as you look deeper, it's like, not at all, because there's numerology involved. There's the elemental energies involved. There's strength and vulnerability of youth and, awkwardness and newness. And just because that's part of the realm of the human doesn't mean it's mundane, right? So I like that it kind of gently corrected me a little bit in my original take. And I'm grateful for that. So I don't think I will add any more to this. I think it's a really beautiful solstice reading. I hope you enjoy and have a good one. And I might actually come back. I'm going to spend Christmas Day by myself because I have a weird history with the holidays, and it's a year this year that I feel mostly at peace. And even though there's a lot of conflict in my family, I'm noticing that as the chaos whirls around me and my family, I'm kind of in the eye of the storm, like just staying in my own center and my own peace here in my own space as much as I can. And that's what I'm planning to do Christmas Day. So maybe I will come on here and do a Christmas reading live for us, or for those of us that might want to feel some kinship across the void that day. So I'm sending you lots of love and respect. Thank you for being here. And thank you for liking and subscribing also. And I'll catch you on the next one.